Hey guys, middle of March, beautiful day in my garden. It hasn't been a beautiful March. It's been very cold, lots of snow. Yet, no problem. Today I'm going to plant my seeds, even though tomorrow it's supposed to snow again. But that's what this video is about, is just answering the great question I get very often is, when can I start planting my vegetable seeds in the garden? The answer really is, it depends on the variety, but I'm going to give you a beautiful list of great varieties of vegetables that grow really well. They love cold seasons. They're actually so much more durable and cold hardy than many catalogs and many people make them out to be. And I always say, get them in as soon as the soil can be worked and let the seed decide for itself when to germinate. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be planting in between two bouts of snow, and no problem. I'm excited for the next bout of snow to slowly release and water the ground so that my seeds could just have a great germination. This is really for a whole lot of regions around the United States and the world, but as long as that soil just begins to soften up and you have some breaks in between snow, get your seeds in, allow them to decide when to germinate. So without further ado, here is the plant list. Okay, so first thing that I want to mention is anything in the Brassica family. This includes things like cabbages, kale, arugula. These are amazing things to start. They're just so resilient, great early starters. We also have broccoli in that family, mustard greens, collards, bok choy. There are other plants in the Brassica family that you can look up as well, but those are some of the most popular ones. Second would be lettuces. We love lettuces in this family. Lettuces are amazing for being so delicate and seeming so delicate. They do so amazing in colder climates and cold seasons. So we get those lettuces in early so that we have great lettuce by mid-spring. Also certain legumes even, like snap peas and favas. Root vegetables like beets, radishes, and carrots. Even potatoes. Although potatoes, I like getting them in early, actually in the fall. I'll be doing a video of that this year because I've discovered a really simple way to plant and harvest and grow potatoes. Also the same thing with garlic and onions. All these bulbs are just not affected by surface cold temperatures. So if you can get them in early and just a little bit extra deep, you should be fine. Garlic and onions, I do like to start in the fall instead of the spring, but it's not too late. And finally, you can get your great crowns in, like asparagus and rhubarb. Fantastic things to start early. They really actually need that extra early start. They do extra well that way. So one more quick tip for you. As you know, I love mulch. And as you can see, I very often spread the mulch apart to expose the bare soil and plant my seeds. But a lot of times I'll actually push the mulch back into a very thin layer in the area that I plant the seeds. In fact, sometimes I'll plant the seeds right on something like this. It's very thin. As you can see, in a thin layer like this, you can still see some of the soil that's exposed. You can see some pockets, some crevices. And the reason why I do this is I actually find that this is fantastic for my seedlings once they germinate. It creates an area of protection for them, some crevices and spaces for them to sort of hide out and give them a really good start. So if it snows or you have a very strong cold wind that comes through, this just really helps to give them a little home to live in and poke through, and probably even helps to insulate the soil a little bit. So I really find that this is very helpful for starting my seeds. So a very thin layer of mulch is really my favorite way to plant seeds, especially early seeds. And I do want to underscore thin here, because if you go thick, if there are inches and inches of mulch, then it will kind of squelch and cover and blanket your seeds, and the seedlings may not be able to poke through. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and that this helped motivate you to get started early, extra early, in an amazing growing season we are going to have this year. I can't wait. It's going to be a really good one. It's exciting. And by the way, if you have your own plant list with some really good vegetable choices that you find you're able to start really early and extra early and do great, feel free to share them right here in the community, down on the comments, so we can all learn from each other and just get great ideas. I love it. I'm going to sign off here right next to my lavender that's just holding on for dear life through the cold, but you know what? It's doing great. It's going to come through it just fine. Lavender is just a fantastic plant to grow in the corner of a garden bed or really disperse throughout your garden to really confuse the scent for pests, because it really repels many pests from your garden. And plus, who doesn't love the smell of lavender? Amazing. Okay, guys, feel free to subscribe. Until next time.